Hebrews 5:13-14, for everyone who lives on milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, since he's a child. But solid food is for those mature, for those who have, by the powers of discernment, trained by constant practice to distinguish good and evil. So if you don't go through the Word of God, if you live on milk, that will be really hard to distinguish good and evil. Because there is a requirement. Because if you live on milk alone, you are unskilled in the word of righteousness. People think that it is not that important to have the word of God, go deeper in the word of God. And they think that it is, then the Bible calls you unskilled. What does it mean, unskilled? That you can't distinguish the good from evil. What do you mean? You need constant practice. Put the word of God into practice. As you put into the word of God into practice, you begin to realize it is not so easy. But it is very, very refreshing and very encouraging and very strengthening and very rejuvenating. It's amazing, but it takes time. It is practice. That's why we must push to the very end. Does it matter whether or not you become mature in the faith? That's the question. If you're not mature in the faith, you're in trouble. As a beginner, that's fine, infant, but you got to grow from infancy. You can't stay as infant. Got to grow to maturity. Some people say it's not important to maturity as long as I'm going to heaven. That is so immature to say that, and it's actually dangerous. Why? Immature believers are easily led astray. Okay, got that? Led astray, which has been the writer's concern in the book of Hebrews. In Ephesians 4:14, Apostle Paul expresses a similar concern for that church, where spiritual infants are tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine. See that Paul is, you can't do that because you're like infants being tossed back and forth by the waves, by every doctrine, wind of doctrine, by human cunning, by craftiness and the deceitful scheming. Boy, he really nails it. The world is scheming. The devil is scheming. Okay, so we don't have such mighty strength to overcome them if we don't go on to maturity. How can we handle such a constant scheming and craftiness? Those who do not progress in the truth of faith are tossed back and forth, particularly when faced with deceivers and their false schemes, as we always will be. Got that? It's really important.